Hello, good evening, YouTube. It's Linnell again here with another Google Ads guide. Except today we're going to be making a Google Ads guide on junk removal and how to produce high quality customers for your junk removal business. Now, the reason I like using Google Ads for junk removal and the reason you'll probably prefer it over other aspects like Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, TikTok marketing as well, is because when it comes to Google Ads, you're getting more buyer intent customers, meaning that the customers that actually click on your Google ad, number one, they're actually calling you, right? Instead of just filling out a form. They do fill out forms as well in Google Ads, but you also have the option of them calling you, which is just a higher intent buyer altogether. But not only that, they're actively searching for your service. Now, I'm sure you can tell the difference between somebody who's searching for your service versus somebody who's just scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and clicking on your service, right? The type of customer that you get is just drastically different. And that's why I like Google Ads for not only most, if not all, local service businesses, but especially for junk removal, just because the return on investment that you get with Google Ads is just so much better. So, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start this guide so you guys can know how to produce high quality customers for your Google ad. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and click create and then campaign. Okay, may have to reload this. All right, so what you're going to want to do is you can either click leads or website traffic for your objective. Reason being is because obviously we're looking for leads, so leads would make the most sense. And then for website traffic can work just as good because if your landing page is optimized correctly, your landing page will convert that website traffic into leads, which will work just as well too. So either one of these two would work perfectly just fine. Okay, now we go over to the conversion goal, and for the conversion goal, if you have the option to click phone call leads, go ahead and click phone call leads. If you don't worry about it. Just go ahead and click continue. Okay, now for the campaign type, I've already explained what all these do, but what you're going to want to focus on is search campaigns for junk removal. And just to kind of explain what search campaigns are, essentially make it really simple for you guys. It's just the ads that look like websites, except it says sponsored in the top left-hand corner, and it's usually above the map pack. Those are usually the search campaign ads. They don't have any reviews. They don't have any photos. They just look like search campaigns. Well, they may have photos, but you'll know because it looks like a website. And those are search campaigns. Those are the most buyer intent customers that you're going to get is with those search campaigns and or the local service-based campaigns. But for this guide, we're going to go ahead and click search. Okay. Now it's going to ask you which ways you'd like to reach your goal. Now for this, you have an option to either go ahead and put your phone number and website in here, but it's not too detrimental, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But if you wanted to, you can go ahead and put your phone number in here at least, and that'll work fine. And then go ahead and click continue. And then for the campaign name, don't overthink this. I just like to put either junk removal in the city I'm going after or your company name and the city you're going after, and that's perfectly fine. Go ahead and click continue. Start new. Okay, now it's going to ask you for the bidding, and for the bidding, for a beginning campaign, you're always going to want to focus on clicks. You can also do conversions. You're going to be optimizing this ad and adding negative keywords and adding negative search term as the ad ages, so your ad's going to get optimized either way. However, what I like to do in the beginning, because this ad has no real data and Google doesn't know how much it costs for a conversion, I like to go for clicks so then we can figure out what's getting clicks and then what clicks are turning into conversions. And then as the ad ages, we switch over to conversions because now we know which clicks on which search terms and which keywords are actually turning into buying customers. And that's when we want to switch over to conversion. The reason you probably don't want to do conversion in the beginning is because, one, Google has no idea. You don't have any idea what your conversion cost is. So Google may overspend your budget to find that conversion, which may spend your money quicker. So we like to just focus on clicks, so Google can focus on clicks and we can focus on clicks and then focus on conversions in the future. Okay, then right here, now this is optional for the set maximum cost per click bid limit. Now, if you don't know what a cost per click is, essentially it's just your cost per click. If someone clicks on your ad, how much is it going to cost, right? And to really see like what in general you're going to be paying per click, I like to use this tool called Google Keyword Planner. If you need help finding it, just go ahead and look up on Google Keyword Planner, and it's also in your ad here. You can also open it up here somehow, but I like to just open up another page. It's simpler to me. Some people it's simpler to open up on their ad. It's whatever you want to do. But Google Keyword Planner. So after you go to Google Keyword Planner, you're going to see Discover New Keywords and Get Search Volume and Forecast. What I like to do is I like to click on Discover New Keywords, okay? Then I like to just put my niche, which is junk removal here, okay? And then I like to search, I like to click this here where it says United States, because right now it's targeting the entire United States, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to target your neighboring or your city that you're marketing in. So let's just say I'm in California, so let's just say San Diego. If I wanted to market to the entire city of San Diego, okay, for junk removal. And what this tool is going to do, it's going to give me a general idea of what the cost per click is to show up at the top. So we see that San Diego has a lot of search volume, 720, I mean 7 million people, so that makes sense. Then you're going to see the top of the range bid per click, which is $15. That means for every click, you're averagely going to pay about $15 or about $16 if you want to round it up to the low end of $7.77. Now, this doesn't mean that every single one of your click is going to be $16. It could be a range of this. It could be $7. It can be up to $10, right? It can be anything in this range. That's what your cost per click can be. And what I like to do, if I really want to be on top of my budget, right? I like to see, sometimes these iPads, man, I tell you. Okay, I like to see, they're built for fingers. I don't know why I'm trying to use a mouse pad. What is happening here? All right, that was extra for no reason. Okay, back to where we were. Jeez. Scroll down here. Okay, so there we go. So now I like to rank this from most expensive to least expensive, okay? And then I like to see, so hauling service. If you were going to offer hauling service, just understand that your cost per click is going to be about $35. Now with hauling service, you know, you're obviously going to charge a certain amount, so you just want to make sure that that is profitable for you. So if I was offering hauling service as part of my junk removal, I would put my max CPC as 3501, because what that's going to do is it's going to give me enough to get the top of the range, and it's going to give me a penny more, so I don't want to go above $35, which will keep my cost per click down. And sometimes I like to do that if I want to be tight on my budget and I do not want Google to just find the CPC. If you have a little bit extra money to spend, you can let Google find your CPC and then set a max cost per click in the future. But I like to do that. It's up to you. It's not super detrimental on which one you do. Okay, this part you can go ahead and skip here. Go ahead and click next. Okay, next it's going to ask for your networks. Now, what I like to do for networks is I like to uncheck these boxes. Long story short, the reason we like to uncheck those boxes is because the buyer and the intent of the customers that click on your ads from this display network and from these search partner networks are just not going to be as buyer intent as the ones that go directly to Google. I promise you, just from experience. Now, can you get leads? Of course you can. And also the cost per click may be cheaper, but I'm just telling you that you may end up spending more just because of the buyer intent is just not there. And you may spend your budget a lot quicker than if you were just going after Google with the best buyers. So go ahead and uncheck both of those boxes, okay? Now locations, this is very important. What you're gonna wanna do is see where it says location options, go and click down on this arrow, make sure you click presence, people in or regularly in your included locations. The reason you wanna do this is because if you do not do this and you leave it like that, that's where you get calls from way outside your boundaries, is because you have this in your location options. People in, regularly in, or who showed interest in your included location. That can be neighboring cities. That can be marketers, right? Who are just looking at competitors, right? It could just, it's just, you just want to be more tight knit with your presence and with your location options. Of course, Google is going to tell you recommended to do that because Google wants you to spend money. They want you to spend more money on clicks. And if they give you a wider range of people, well, that just means more opportunity for your ad to get clicks. So of course, they want you to do that. So then you could spend more money on their site. At the end of the day, Google is a business, and their number one goal is to make as much money as possible. Also, keep in mind, Google Ads is Google's number one source of income is from their ads, not from search volume, not from Google Maps. It's from their ads. So they're going to try to take as much control as they possibly can because this is their main source of income. So just keep that in mind whenever you see Google recommending anything, or if you want to decide to work with a Google agent, just understand that they have one goal and one goal only, and that's to drain your pockets, if you will. So now what you want to do is just enter your city. Super simple. If you want to market into the entire city of San Diego or the entire city of Houston or in wherever you want to market, go ahead and just put that city in there. If you want to save a little bit of money and you've been working your city for a while, so you know which neighborhoods or which zip codes you get the most customers from, you can also dial it down to just targeting those zip codes. Because the reason why is because if you target the entire city, especially like a big city like San Diego, the more expensive your ads are going to be, because you're targeting, you're targeting against a lot of other competitors who are also targeting San Diego. But you just have a wider net, which means you just have a lot more people, which means that you're going to be spending a lot more money because you're going to be getting a lot more clicks. Also, the cost per clicks are going to be higher because of the competition, because it's simple supply and demand. So you got to understand that the bigger your area of marketing, the bigger your budget should be. And we'll get to the budgeting and how you should calculate that when we get there. But just understand that you want to understand where you're spending your money. So, like I said, if you know any small zip codes that you get a lot of jobs from and you want to save a little bit of money, you can go ahead and target those. But also, if you want more leads and more jobs and you're prepared to spend a little bit more, go ahead and target the whole city. You also have the option, if you click advanced search here, to do radius. So you could honestly do 10 miles, 5 miles around San Diego. Just keep in mind when you do this, anything that the radius touches, you will be marketing in. So if this radius touches the edge of a city, you're marketing in that entire city. So just keep that in mind when you do this method, that your cost per click may be even higher because you're targeting another city. So just keep that in mind if you do the radius. But go ahead and enter your city there and make sure you click this presence, people in, regularly in your included locations, okay? Super important. All right, go ahead and skip all this stuff. Go to your more settings. You want to keep this the same, best performing ads. Google's going to automatically play your best performing ads. That's what you want. Start and end dates, don't really need to worry about that. You can end it whenever you want. You can also restart it whenever you want. Ad schedule. So I say this in all my videos, just make sure you run your ad when you're doing your job. Time and time again, people skip this part. They let their ad run 24/7 when they're not even working. You get clicks, you get calls in the middle of the night. Nobody to answer. That's waste of money. Essentially, that's a waste of a customer as well. So you want to just make sure you're running it. One, when you have somebody on the phone ready to take jobs for you, or two, when you're doing the job, so then you can answer the phone. One thing I always recommend, especially when it comes to Google Ads, because you're paying such a premium price for these customers, make sure that you answer these calls. Make sure that you answer these calls, or at least give them a call back within the next 5 minutes. Because as somebody in sales myself, everybody knows that if your lead, well, not everybody, never mind, not everybody knows this, but if you don't answer the call as soon as they give you a call or within that next 5 minutes, chances are they're probably going to your competitor, and you're probably going to lose out on that job because they're looking for work now. That's why they're calling you. So you just want to make sure you're as prompt to answer the phone when it comes to that. So yeah, just make sure your ad schedule matches up to where you can answer the phone, or you have somebody who's trained at least in the basic knowledge of setting appointments to go ahead and answer those phones for you. Okay, don't skip that. All right, keywords. So how keywords work, how Google Ad works for keywords. Okay, so ad groups. There's multiple ad groups within a Google Ad. There can also be one. I think personally, the bigger the city is or the more competitors you have, the more you want to separate your ad groups. The smaller the city, the least competitors you have, you can obviously keep all your keywords within one ad group and still dominate the market. But if you're in a big city like San Diego, you're going to want to separate your services by ad group. So to explain what an ad group actually looks like, do I have water in here? I'm kind of thirsty. Sorry. But to explain what an ad group actually looks like. So picture the campaign, and that's what we're working on. The whole project here is the campaign. All of this, the bidding, the keywords, the ads, the budgeting, everything is the campaign. The ad groups are, think of it like this. The campaign is an apartment building. The ad groups are apartment rooms or homes, if you will. And then the ads are rooms inside the rooms of the apartment building. Got it? Like ads are the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom, the living room, right? All of these separate rooms within inside the ad group, or the home inside the campaign or the apartment building. Okay? Hope that analogy makes sense. But essentially, ad groups are smaller than campaigns. Ads are smaller than ad groups. That's all you got to remember, right? Ads go within one ad group. You can have multiple ads for one ad group. You can have multiple ad groups per one campaign. That's how you got to remember it. So what you want to do is you want to separate your services, all the services that you want to market. Now, I recommend, when it comes to junk removal, doing your highest ticket jobs and marketing those for Google Ads. That's what I recommend. Your highest ticketing jobs. You can also do your low ticket. That's no problem. But just make sure that you're watching your budget, and you're making sure you're not spending over your budget to where you're not profitable. Okay. This whole idea is that you become profitable. So your highest ticket jobs, hauling, right? Industrial junk removal, commercial junk removal, high ticket jobs. You also do residential. It's really just however you want to do it. If you get enough volume on a medium to low ticket job, you could still make this work. I promise you can make this work, like, tremendously, because just the quality of buyers that you're going to get are just going to be that much better. So just to make it make sense, right? You could do this for example, an ad group of residential junk removal. That's one service. Okay? Now, keywords. How we want to make this. We want to make sure the keywords matches the ad group name. So if this is residential junk removal, we want to have keywords that match that ad name, so that are related to it, right? So there's three types of keywords. There's broad match. I'm just going to use the word junk, okay? Right here. I'll do this so it could be maybe easier to follow. If you guys want me to make an entire video off of keywords, I will do that as well. Okay, so that's phrase match. The quotations are phrase match. And now we'll do exact match, which are brackets. Okay. That's brackets. And then we'll do broad match, which is nothing. Okay. Okay. So those are the 3 types of keywords that Google reads. All right, so let's explain them. So the first one, which is phrase match with the quotations. This just means that any keyword that matches that phrase, your ad will show up for it. So residential junk removal company. Your ad will show up for it because it's phrase matched to residential junk removal. Residential junk removal company near me. Your ad will show up because it's matching to that. Residential junk removal contractor. Your ad will show up for that. It all matches that phrase, right? So to go on to exact match is exactly that, nothing else. Residential junk removal. That's all your ad will show up with if this is what you have in your keywords. It will not show up for residential junk removal company, residential junk removal contractor, residential junk removal anything. It will only show up for residential junk removal, and that's exact match. And then broad match is anything that's remotely related to that keyword your ad will show up with. So residential junk removal, your ad might show up for dumpster photos because it's related to residential junk removal, but it has nothing to do with your service. So for my opinion, and probably every single Google Ads agency that you'll ask across the planet, there's no reason to use broad match at this point in time. Maybe in the past, but not at this point in time. It'll just waste your money. So what I recommend is you stick with is phrase match and exact match in your keyword selection. And remember, you want it all to be related. So what I would personally do here, I would go to Google Keyword Planner and I would search up what my also, and these Google Keyword Planners aren't 100% accurate. Okay. So, whatever your service is and whatever you get your most jobs from, if it's just junk removal, you could just use junk removal without residential. Okay. I like to look at the keywords, but it doesn't seem like it shows like a lot of search volume for this keyword. So I probably wouldn't even target this, just my personal opinion. But you can test it out to see if you get any jobs. But honestly, what you probably would just end up doing is just targeting junk removal as a whole, which will work perfectly fine. Again, you could just have it junk removal. The longer tail the keyword is, the more exact you want to be. So junk removal contractor near me, that's a really exact keyword. You probably just want to do exact match for that. Junk removal is a broader keyword, so then you probably want to do phrase match. So what I recommend is just going through and adding at least 7 to 8 phrase match and exact match keywords. Remember, the more broader the keyword is, the more phrase you want it. The more exact, the more long tail, the more longer the keyword is, you want to do it exact. And just go ahead and add ones. Think of all the top of your head. Ask ChatGPT, use AI. Just add 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 or 7 to 8 and you'll be good there. And just go ahead and do that for every service that you offer in your company. Even if you don't see search volume in the Google keyword tool, but you know you get jobs for that, put it in here, okay? And just remember, every single ad group has to match the keywords, okay? And you guys will do phenomenal. Okay, now it's the ad. And remember, the ad is the smaller, is ads go into ad groups, okay? So you can make multiple ad groups. You can also make multiple keyword groups. Now, Google's not going to let you make multiple keyword groups right now because, like I said, Google wants to control everything. So they're not going to let you make 2 or 3 or 4 right now. But as soon as the ad is done, you will have the option. It's super easy. You just look at your ad, you go to your keyword groups, and you click add group, and then you can add another one. Super simple, super easy. After you make the ad, obviously. Okay? And then now when you move on to your ad, it's going to ask for your final URL. This is the landing page. And what you want to do is per every single ad group, you want to have a different landing page for it. okay? One that specializes in whatever that keyword is. So since this is junk removal, or we're going after junk removal, we would want to add that specifically about junk removal, not hauling, not not any other service, not mattress and appliance disposal, not estate cleanouts, not hoarding cleanup, just specifically junk removal, okay? And you just want to make sure it's high converting. Phone number at the top, bright and bold, click to call, accolades, simple, and to the point, okay? For display path, you could just put junk removal here. It's not too detrimental what you put here. Go and just put junk removal and that'll work. Add your phone number here. Remember when I said that it's not a big deal if you add your phone number up there, you can go ahead and add it there. Okay, headlines. So Google's going to offer you to make 15 headlines. Now, I heard from one of my actual mentors that Google, you don't need to put 15 headlines because one, if you put all 15 headlines, you're not going to know which headlines are producing you the most clicks. So it's going to be hard for you to track. So what you want to do is you actually just want to use the top 3. Google only shows 2 headlines per ad anyways. So you could just put the top 3. And what I like to do is for the first headline, I like to put who we are, what we are, and why we are, and how we're the best. So, example, #1 junk removal company in San Diego. If you could fit that, right? It has to be 30 characters. #1 junk removal company. Best junk removal company. Award-winning junk removal company, right? Things like that. Adjectives and your service and what you do and who you are and how good you are. Simple. Okay? Then for the second headline, I like to put an incentive. So, an offer, right? Free junk removal, or just think of something that stands out from your competitors, and you can go ahead and look at your competitors. You type in junk removal near you or junk removal in your city that you're marketing in. Look at what your competitors are offering for that second headline. Look at their offers. Is it 30% off? Is it same day service, right? Same day free quote, same day service, right? Things to make you stand out, things to get the buyer to click on your ad over your competitors. Just really try to think hard right here. That's what offer you guys can do to get your competitors to click on your ad, because that's really important. This right here, guys, is probably the most important part of your ad, because this is what's going to get the people to click on your ad versus your competitors. And the more big, or the more volume your city has, the bigger your city is, the more competitors you're going to have, the better your ad has to be, okay? The better your ad has to be, and that's period, right? I don't know why I just said that, but that's, you just want to make sure that you're incentivizing the customer to click on your ad versus the competitors, and really think hard and really look at what your competitors are offering and see if you can come up with something better. And that's what you do for the second headline. And then for the third headline, what you're going to want to do is authority, okay? Authority. 25 years junk removal business. 10 years junk removal experts, right? Something that just something that brings your authority to the market. You can even use award-winning here as well. You can also add another incentive. It's really up to you, but I like to put something authoritative. 25 years experience junk removal. Just something that shows that you know what you're doing for the third line, okay? Then for descriptions, I like to combine all 3. I like to put who, what we are, how we're the best, what services we specialize in, and then what incentive we have, and then a call to action at the end. And then I just like to put 2 descriptions, and I like to shuffle it around and reword it in the second one. Also, for the descriptions, I do use AI to help me out, and it works wonders. So you can ask AI to help you out for a description and add a call to action at the bottom, and that'll work just as well. Images, not too important. If you have images, you can add those here, but not super important. Just make sure they're the right size, or Google will not let you use it. Business logo you can also add. This just adds a little bit more credibility to your ad. It shows that you're a real legitimate company, and some buyers like that. So go ahead and add your business logo. Site links. Now this is really important. What I like to do, if you can make your landing page a little bit girthy, meaning that you can add a contact us page, a reviews page, all of these pages have to have a call to action on it. Trust me, it'll make it a lot easier for buyers to call you. So make sure that all these pages have a call to action on it. But you can make a contact us page, a reviews page, a testimonials page, a services page, right? Because what this is going to do is every site link that you add here, it's going to show up on your ad, which is going to give you more real estate on the page. And if you don't know what real estate on the page means, it just means you're going to get more space. You're going to take up more space, more visual space of your customer. You're going to give them more opportunities to click on your ad versus your competitor. You're going to push your competitors either up or down out of the screen while your customer is looking at your ad. So it just gives you more real estate to work with. So if you're gonna add site links, go ahead and add site links as well. Callouts, it's more of just more incentives. You know, highlight. It's callouts are just more incentivizing people. You know, free estimates, even though most companies do offer that. Just same day estimates, free junk removal potential, just something that's you can offer as well. Just more incentives there for call outs. Okay, and then click done here. You can also just see that it's done up here. Now remember, Google's only going to allow you to make one ad in one ad group. But after this is done, you can also add more. And that comes into optimizing and things like that. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and go to the budget. Okay, now you can either go recommended. This is entirely up to you. Just make sure you calculate what your weekly cost is and what your monthly cost should be. Or you could set a custom budget. Now, this is if you had a custom budget in mind. If you only wanted to spend, let's say, $1,500, you can add that up to see what that would be for your daily budget, right? And so if you did $1,500 and you ran your ad 5 days a week, and that was your schedule, then you would just calculate what that would be. So you do 1,500 divided by, there's 8 weekends in a month, 5 days a week, 5 times 4 is about 20, right? So on average, you're probably running ads 20 days out the month. Okay. It may be more, it may be less. Not every month has the same amount of days, but that's just in general. So then you divide 1,500 by 20, and then that would be your daily budget, right? Super simple. So you take your monthly budget that you have in mind, and you just divide it by the days you're running ads, and then that'll be your daily budget. What I like to do is I like to make sure whatever the average CPC is, I like to at least make sure that I can get at least 5 clicks a day, because I think that'll give enough data to actually see if your ads are converting well. Because if your ad can convert at 20%, that means that your ad's doing really well. So I like to get at least 5 to 7 clicks a day, and make sure I have enough budget to compensate that, whatever my cost per click is that we set at the beginning. Okay. Then after you do that, go in and click next. And my ad's not going to show up, but your ad will say ready to publish. And you can go in and click publish, and your ad will be published. Okay, now this is just how you set up these ads. You've already set it up in a high converting way. You set your max cost per click. You've targeted your area. You have the right keywords. Now there's a lifeline of Google Ads. So how is it going to work? So first 2 days of running your Google Ads, it's going to be policy review. Okay, and then after that, it goes into learning mode. And then that's going to take about 5 days. Now, after the 5 days is when you can start adding negative keywords. Okay, now this is really important because this is going to, think of your ad as a snowman, or think of this. You're building a cone with snow, okay? As you go from the bottom and you're building this cone, it's just round and it's not pointed. Okay, but as you build the cone up, it gets more pointed and more pointed and more pointed until it becomes a pyramid to the top, right? And that's how your Google ad is. As your ad is getting older and as your ad is learning and as your ad is building itself, you're going to want to be putting more snow in. You're going to want to be adding negative keywords, making sure you're targeting the right audience, adding negative search terms, and just overall just chiseling your ad until it's perfect. And that is a whole nother step to running the campaign. Now, if you're, like me and you run your own business and you don't have time to go ahead and do that on your own, feel free to shoot us an email down below where me and my team will actually go in, see how your Google ad is running. If you're not running Google ads, we will set up the entire Google ad for you, and we will actually watch and manage it and make sure that you're getting a return on investment on it. If that sounds like something that you're looking into and you want to run Google ads, you're just not sure if you have the time, because obviously you don't make money by running Google ads. You make money by doing jobs and by doing junk removals. So let the experts handle that, and you focus on what makes you money, and yeah, you grow your business that way. So shoot me and my team an email down below and we will get started working on a Google ad for you and make sure that you're getting a return on investment for you. But other than that, guys, that is how you set up a Google ad for junk removal. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Also, subscribe for more. I will be dropping more tutorials in the future. I will also building a blog, should come out sometime soon, where if videos aren't your thing and you'd rather read something on your own time with photos, that's going to be dropping here pretty soon. So once again, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all you guys. Again, if you want to subscribe or you want to email my team, you can do so down below. But other than that, you guys have a great night. I'm glad I can make another video for you.